Education, San Francisco Unified School District. Today is April the 10th, and this meeting is now called to order. At this time, we're going to have a reading of the resolution by Commissioner Cook and I. You're going to start, Commissioner Cook? Thank you.
Resolution number 183, 31A1, in support of equitable services and staff for Hawaiian and Pacific Islander students. Whereas it is the mission of San Francisco Unified School District to provide each and every student the quality instruction and equitable support required to thrive in the 21st century. And whereas the City and County of San Francisco, just like many major cities in the United States, is the home and workplace of large immigrant communities with citizens and immigrants of all statuses. And whereas according to a U.S. Census, as this info is secondary data from according to U.S. Census 2014 report, Asian Americans advancing justice and empowering Pacific Islander communities. Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders are the third fastest growing demographic in the country, with more than 1.5 million from 20 distinct cultural groups currently live in the United States. The vast majority in Hawaii and California, 29% of whom speak a language other than English at home. And whereas in San Francisco, NHPIs are demographically concentrated in historically underserved neighborhoods in the southeast, including Bayview Hunters Point, Visitation Valley, Sunnydale, Ocean View, and Excelsior, with over 94% of NHPIs in these neighborhoods living at or below the poverty line. And whereas in September 2017, the unemployment rate for San Francisco stood at 2.9% and 7.3% for Asian populations. However, the unemployment rate for NHPI in San Francisco was at approximately 14.2%, with unemployment for NHPI in the southeast neighborhoods of San Francisco at approximately 20.5%. And whereas nationally, over 1 in 3 NHPI Americans are youth under the age of 18. And whereas in 2015, the most recent year for which ACT data on the subject is available, 42% of NHPIs nationally aspire to attain a bachelor's degree, and 33% aspire to a graduate or professional degree. Yet, according to the ACT's condition of college and career readiness, only 24% met 3 or more college readiness benchmarks, a decline of 8% from 2012, and less than half of white students, 50%, among whom met 3 or more benchmark standards, leading to a widening achievement gap for NHPI students. We're gonna keep going. Whereas according to the United States Census 2010, only 18% of NHPI are 25 or older hold a college degree, including only 3% of Marshallese adults within the NHPI population who hold a college degree, compared to 28% nationally. And whereas 32% of NHPI students in SFUSD are college eligible, compared to the district average of 54%, with 24% of NHPI's students proficient in English, compared to the district average 44%, and 17% of NHPI students proficient in math, compared to the district average of 49%. NHPI students have had the highest dropout rate at SFUSD twice within the past 5 years, while 3 out of 4 Asian or Pacific Islanders school dropouts, including NHPI, are incarcerated at some time in state prison. And whereas while about 1 in 7 NHPIs do not have health insurance, NHPIs are disproportionately impacted by heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. According to a 2016 report from the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, only 5% of NHPI 9th graders could achieve all 6 out of 6 fitness gram tests. I'm going to skip down a few whereases. Whereas there are almost no culturally competent supports in San Francisco for NHPI youth, the Small Community Development Center, SCDC, being that organization in San Francisco currently dedicated to assist NHPIs.
Thank you, Vice President. So I'm going to continue. Whereas SFUSD owns the building and land where SCDC is currently housed, therefore be it resolved, in order to provide the equitable support required for our NHPI students to thrive in the 21st century, the Board of Education requests the Superintendent of Schools work with staff to establish and expand additional supports for NHPI students. And be it further resolved, in order to advance the commitment of the San Francisco Unified School District to support our graduates attending college, the district shall, 1, work with the Samoan Community Development Center and other community groups to recruit NHPI for positions throughout the district, including administrative positions, teachers, paraprofessionals, custodial services, and other support positions. In staffing schools, 2, in staffing schools where NHPI students are most demographically populous, including but not limited to Bayview, Hunters Point, Viz Valley, Sunnydale, Ocean View, and Excelsior. The district shall work to ensure that staff is culturally competent to meet the needs of our NHPI students and explore all options to support new and existing college and career readiness programs designed to meet NHPI student needs in a culturally competent way, and expand SFUSD's partnership with the Oceana Sunrise Initiative to implement additional NHPI supports into SFUSD and create bridges between the NHPI community in San Francisco and SFUSD. Further be it resolved, San Francisco Unified School District shall provide dedicated space for NHPI student community partnerships, including but not limited to involving community partnerships where practicable to advance NHPI disproportionalities and inequities in San Francisco Unified School District, and 2, supporting culturally relevant curriculums for NHPI at all grade levels. These curriculums should seek to preserve, celebrate, and pass on traditional NHPI cultural heritage with parent, family, and community involvement where practicable. Jeez. 3, exploring all options to ensure the Samoan Community Development Center continues to operate within SFUSD, including facilitating a joint use agreement or other legal instrument to share facilities with SCDC, and exploring all options to facilitate the creation of an NHPI wraparound services center in the building currently housing SCDC with the goal of addressing NHPI resource and health disparities described above, including but not limited to NHPI-focused youth services, tutoring, college and career readiness programs, and culturally competent health services. Be it further resolved, in order to accurately measure ongoing progress on reducing disparities facing our NHPI students, the superintendent of schools shall work with staff to comply with federal and state mandated data standards to disaggregate PI data from AAPI data and to further break down data by PI ethnic groups to better capture NHPI data. Whew. So there you go. How about that? So we have a few public speakers on this. I'm really glad the community came out. It's so great to see all of you. So Noah Frigaut, Forgo Muliga, Jon Auer, and Heath Opia. Come on up.
Talofa, Hafade, Malolele, Aloha, Punavinaka. It's really emotional, really emotional. Tonight's a historical moment for Pacific Islanders, as everybody in this room should know. And so I am really honored to be here. And I first and foremost want to thank the district, thank the leadership of the board. We've been doing this since August, right? We've been at this since August, and we've gotten here. It took some pulling and pushing and trying to figure out what to write in these papers, but we're here. And so I really, on behalf of the PI community, my ocean, right, they're here in the house. We want to say mahalo, much mahalo. Right? And so as we move this forward, I just want to continue. We are here side by side that this initiative, this resolution is community driven, right? It is informed by the community. We are in partnership. I was here at the, the committee meeting earlier. I saw there was one position on there. We're advocating for 3 positions, right? So we can get in there and do this work. I spoke with Kevin Truitt a little bit earlier, and it's a recommendation that we feel like is going to support the PI community. In addition to that, this building is very, very important to us. And so as we move forward, continuously work, and I know Brother Shamant brought it up, some immediate needs currently today that we can do with this building. But again, I'm just going to keep it like that. Thank you so, so much. Mahalo.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello. My name is Heath Opia. I am a tall young woman, and I represent all the Pacific Islander students that attend June Jordan School for Equity. I was given the gracious opportunity to take City College classes with Dr. Polita. One of the classes I'm taking this semester is called Fa'a Pacifica. One of the things that we learned in this class was Va, which is the space that we hold sacred as Pacific Islander people. I was also taught the definition of culture. The definition of culture is when you as people are given a space to manipulate. How we manipulated the spaces, one component is the tatau, or other words, the tattoo. There's a theory that identity is fluid, which means that the identity that you hold today is fluid, which means that it's always going to change. The tatau is supposed to solidify your identity, when in reality, it's not supposed to do that. The reason why we hold the tatau, or one example is the malu in the Samoan culture, it's to represent a moment in your own lifetime. Even though I do not hold a tatau or a malu, these classes that I'm taking contribute to my identity, and they are my own tatau. And the more classes that I attend and the more classes that I take, the more fluid my identity becomes. I'm here to advocate for more Va, or sacred spaces, for my Pacific Islander youth and community, so that they can be able to hold the same opportunity that I had. I'm advocating for the Pacific Islanders who are lost, who are incarcerated, who are stereotyped. I'm here to advocate for the Pacific Islanders who are pushed out of schools and kept away from realizing who their people are and who they really are. And I'm here to advocate for the Pacific Islanders who are kept away from getting their very own tatau. As a poet named Teresa Sianga Tonu says, I am tired of being a teacher for my own oppression. We are tired of saying that we are struggling. We are tired of repeating ourselves. But what we don't want to do is forcefully get it from people. That's why our people always ask, and our people are always giving. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President, Commissioners. My name is Jon Auer, and I'm the co-chair of the Pacific Islanders Association. As Faungan mentioned, this is very historical and as well as emotional for us. I mean, just listening to some of those statistics, the only thing I can say, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. It's been a problem that our city and many other cities haven't yet addressed. And I thank you for putting this together, for authoring this. And I encourage the rest of the commissioners to please vote yes on this. This is the first step. Let me give you a scenario for a young Pacific Islander student in San Francisco. When you walk through the door and you don't see anybody that looks like you, they sign their teacher, that's either a dean, a counselor, or a principal. You kind of want to just walk right back out the door and go find the first door where you see, get you a pack of cigarettes and a can of beer and drink. There's no inspiration for a lot of our young people, and that's why those statistics, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. A lot of our kids are not making it. Why? It's because we don't have an identity. And when you do not see yourselves in an authoritative role, why should you go to school? For us, it's either athletics or clubs, especially, you know, the poly clubs, right? But that's a lot of culture, dancing and stuff, but it's not going to take us to where we need to go as a community. So I really appreciate allowing us and partnering up with our community. There is 8 organizations as well as allies. We're working right now tirelessly. We'll be back, and we're going to hold hands with the district and make sure that this is the first step. You know, let's get our young people, let's help our community. Let's make an impact. let's change instead of just shooting for becoming a NFL player, which is what, one out of a large number. Let's shoot to get some doctors, right? Let's shoot to get some lawyers, some more teachers, right? I mean, that's what our people need. And as you see, we have a larger community, but most of our folks are not used to partaking in forums such as this, right? But this is one great step. Once we get the word out in our community, trust me, the next function, our numbers will be a lot greater when we show up. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our last speaker, please.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Noah Forgo. I am a policy analyst at the Human Rights Commission, and on behalf of staff there, I really wanted to offer our full support for this historic resolution. We are really excited and want to work with the board as this moves forward. And just to focus on one example of how this resolution is so forward-thinking, for data disaggregation, when you're looking at Asian and Pacific Islander statistics together, it really masks a lot of the issues that you highlighted in the resolution. And so pulling that out and looking at Pacific Islander specific data and then disaggregating that further, like the resolution says, really goes a long way to make sure that students receive the supports that they need and that they're not statistically invisible. Just to say how far ahead of the curve SFUSD is on this, there's state law about disaggregation, but it's not set to take effect for another 4.5 years, and it only applies in health situations. So this is a really important resolution, and the Human Rights Commission is really excited that the board has taken it up. Thank you.